who in her product operations role at Teal is primarily responsible for staying close to the end users and remaining connected to them through ticket trend reviews, user interviews, and ad hoc user meetings. She's passionate about keeping the user voice a participant in product conversations, enabling others to use Teal with confidence through onboarding and proactive support, and gaining insight, leveraging data analysis to inform decisions, identity trends, and uncover insights. You all heard me mention Teal, and you see it there on my background and on Emily's profile. So for those of you who aren't familiar, Teal is a personal career growth platform that gives you the tools, skills, and recommendations that you need to accelerate your career, starting with the job search. So we're very excited to have Emily here and for her demo of Teal. So Emily, with that, welcome. And I would imagine we need to turn things over to you. So I will stop sharing now.
Awesome. Well, hello, everyone. That was a lovely intro. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here today. This seems like an amazing group. It was wonderful to listen to the previous speaker. I'm glad I got to hop on. I'm going to give us a really brief overview and demo of Teal today. It's a big tool. So at the end, if you have questions, I will put my email address. You can reach out. We can set up a one-on-one chat, and I can walk you through any technical questions you have. But I'll go ahead and just get started with showing you around the tool. I don't use Teams very much, so please allow me to figure out how to share my screen. Let's see, oh, there's the control. Okay. It says I need to adjust my privacy settings. Isn't that always how it goes? Let's see. Excellent. So as mentioned, Teal is really a resource to help you track your job applications, manage and edit your resume. And we're now breaking into the job search active space, which means that we have our own job board that sources millions of jobs a day and pulls them in on the hour. So we are pulling in new opportunities daily. And a new feature we recently rolled out is actually our AI job search, which we were just chatting about with the previous speaker. The ability to ingest your resume and then see job opportunities surfaced for you based on your experience. So I'll show you a little bit about each one of these kind of areas of our tool. Again, it's a pretty robust tool, so you'll probably have questions at the end. So again, we can chat further. But this is the main homepage, and I'm going to sign into an already existing account. All right, and this is an upgraded account. So when you first create your account, it'll look slightly different. You'll just see a little more of like the typical kind of free account look. There'll be some CTAs and some more information about our premium features. So just note that if it looks slightly different, that's totally expected. This is an upgraded account. So most of our features do have free opportunities to use them. We have certain items such as like our AI generation that's limited to free users. You have a certain number of credits that you can use, and then there is a requirement to upgrade for unlimited AI use. And that's, primarily for us to keep our costs low as well, as it does cost money to run a lot of our tools. But most of our platform can be used for free, and I just want to make sure that that's stated clearly. We want to make sure it's as accessible as possible, especially to those of you who are actively job searching. So I'm going to start in our resume builder, and the resume builder is kind of what our initial offering was, and something that our tool has been primarily focused on over the last year plus. Teal's been around for about 6 or 7 years, so we're a small startup, and we've built this resume builder to sort of be your main central hub for all of your work experience. The pain point we were trying to solve for is that when you're applying to multiple jobs, you often have a Google Doc or 80 Google Docs that have all of your different edits. That's, a variety of different resumes that you're trying to send out and make edits to. And then editing and updating those documents universally can be really challenging. Like, where did I have that updated bullet point, or did I, change the target title on this resume? And so what Teal does is it essentially provides you the opportunity to keep all of that information in one place and then easily turn items on and off that you're not planning to use for that resume. So you have control of what's being shown on which resume, so that you can easily just manipulate your content, keep it all in one place, always have access to it, but easily determine what's actually going to be used based on the job you're applying to. So it's a very sort of like it's more of like a content management system when it comes to this resume builder. You're just keeping your content in one place. Where a lot of the value comes in with this resume builder is our job matcher, which is one of our most popular features. And the job matcher is going to allow you to either look at your resume against a job that you might have already saved, and I'll show you what that looks like in Teal, or search for different or new jobs and see how your resume stacks up against those positions. So I'll show you an example. In this search bar, I could search for titles and it would pull from our, millions of job opportunities that we have in our job board. But instead, I'm going to select a job that I've already bookmarked. I already know that it's something that I'm interested in. I have it already saved. And what's going to happen is it's going to show me all of the high impact or most like explicitly mentioned keywords that are within that job description. And it's going to show me my match score against what's in my resume. This match score is really low. You're probably thinking, wow, this looks really overwhelming. Lots of red on the page here. But as you can see, I'm also using a print marketing project manager role, and I have a lot of marketing director experience. So there's, there's overlap here, but if I were to be really strategic, I would have found a perfect job for this demo. But I wanted to just show you what this looks like in theory. And once these hard skills, soft skills, once they're surfaced, you're going to go through and you're going to decide whether or not any of them are maybe not relevant or worth your time. As mentioned, we have prompting here to pull from the requirements, the responsibilities, and the qualifications of the job description. But with any AI tool, there's always discrepancies. So it's very, very important that you use your discretion. You know your experience best. You know the industry that you're in. If a keyword doesn't seem relevant, you can simply ignore that keyword and it won't be looked at in your match score any longer. Once you have kind of combed through and you found the keywords that you think are really high impact, and hopefully we've done that enough for you, you can easily create bullet points or add it to your skills directly so that your match score can increase. So if I were to click write bullet point, I can select which position. I can then select any additional keywords that I'd like to add to that bullet point, and I can generate the bullet and have it added to my resume. At Teal, we really believe that human intervention in your resume is super important. We don't want to provide a tool that, generates a brand new resume for you based on the job that you have no say or control over. That's why when you're working in Teal, you might notice things such as metrics added to achievements. That's not meant to be an opportunity for you to mislead the interviewer or the hiring manager. Instead, it does require you to, select a foundation here, and then you're going to want to probably edit that to make it personalized to your experience. Like maybe 30% in this area doesn't make a lot of sense for what you're trying to capture. So there's some editing required still, but we think that that's important. We want you to still be really in control of your content, and we don't want it to be a passive experience when it comes to building your resume. But if you're like me and you get stuck with writer's block, it can be really helpful to have some of these foundational examples just to build from so you can easily make changes. So this is matching mode. Again, one of our more popular features. We also have a cover letter generator in this tool as well, so you can generate cover letters as you need to. I know cover letters are everyone's favorite application item, and so we try to make it really easy for you to have a tool that can help you create those cover letters and have them attached to the job here. Once you're finished, you can export that PDF. You can export it with the cover letter, and you can apply to that job. This is the resume builder. And so now I'm going to go over to our job tracker. And our job tracker is essentially your project management tool for your job applications. This is where you can keep all of the jobs that you're applying to. You can keep them in the stages that they are, so you can easily keep track of your pipeline. You can create resumes directly from these jobs so that you can easily keep track of which resume you're using. There's a lot of tools in here that are really useful, just depending on how your workflow works for your job search. We have some other really cool trackers within this as well, including contact trackers if you wanted to keep track of those networking opportunities, companies if you just wanted to keep a list of companies you want to keep an eye out for. We also have this compensation tool, which will look at all of the jobs that you have saved in Teal and kind of give you this like benchmarking of all of the averages and sort of the things that you want to consider about the industry that you're looking at. It's sort of just like an opportunity to get some insights from your jobs. And we also have an offer analysis tool, which isn't really highly utilized. It's kind of hidden here. But let's say that you're provided an offer and you're interested in accepting. You can upload your offer here and then chat directly with our AI to ask questions. So if you're not sure what something means on the offer, you can do that directly within Teal as well. Of course, you can use other LLMs such as Claude or ChatGPT, but we try to keep everything as much in platform as possible. Jobs you can track manually by clicking this Add a New Job button, but we also have a Chrome extension that you can use on a variety of job boards, including LinkedIn, that'll essentially scrape the URL and you can click bookmark, and then that job is added to your tracker with all of the metadata that's associated. So it's a really easy way to just make sure that those jobs are added. I can actually, I could probably show you that. Let's see. So let's say I wanted to bookmark this job. I could open up the extension here on the side panel, and I could save that job easily. So it's a really great opportunity to just like quickly save jobs, and that way you can work on the resumes and not have to worry about copying and pasting so much. It's only available on Chrome right now, so we don't have a Firefox or other Chromium browser extensions, but it is here for you to use. And lastly, I want to show you our job search. So as I mentioned, this is kind of a new area that we're moving into. We ultimately want Teal to be like your one-stop shop for your job search process. And to do that, we want to make sure that we're providing job opportunities that can be surfaced to you. So we've recently started, within the last 6 months, we've built our own job board. And this is pulling in, again, there's millions of jobs within this job board. And we have great source data. Currently, most of our jobs are only in the United States. We'd love to expand that to the UK and internationally, but I just wanted to be transparent that most of our jobs are US based. And you can search in this job board for jobs like you would on any job board. I think what's unique and interesting about ours is that you can easily bookmark jobs straight to your tracker, right? Like we had just shown a minute ago. You can easily create a resume and look at your match score. And you can also use our AI job search, which is entirely free. The job search or the job board and the AI job search are entirely free. As you can see, it is a beta currently, which is funny that it didn't show up on that first slide. I'll have to tell our developers about that. But the AI job search allows you to utilize your resume that you've imported into Teal, and you can find jobs based on your experience. So let me say, can you find me remote jobs that align with my experience? And of course, this is a very vague request. So it's probably going to give me some things that, might not be directly relevant or maybe not exactly what I'm searching for. But just to give you an example, you can utilize this sort of as your partner. And you can, surface opportunities that you might not be finding passively on other job boards. The goal here is that we really want to find a lot of parity between you not feeling like you have to know every job title that might be relevant to you. We want to help you find titles that might be relevant that you just had never considered before. So you can see Director of Digital Marketing, that's pretty relevant to what my resume was looking like. If I click into this, I can easily bookmark it, create a resume, or I can be taken directly to the application. And I can also see more jobs or, have follow-up prompts. The AI job search is meant to be kind of like your career co-pilot, and we're continuing to sort of expand this feature, but we're really excited about it. And once you have utilized this enough, you kind of get the hang of how to bookmark the jobs and how to like prompt it appropriately for your use case. Those are our major features, and I just talked very, very fast, and that was a lot of information. I'm showing you here our all tools page. So these are all of the features that we have currently in Teal. something I did want to bring up, and something that many of you might be utilizing ChatGPT or Claude or other tools for, is interview practice. And we do have an interview practice tool directly in Teal. And so in this tool, you can select from various scenarios and you can practice your interviews. You can tie a job to the interview specifically, so that the interviewer knows what types of questions to ask you about the job. And something that I think is really fun is you can either decide to do this interview practice in mock mode, so it's going to feel like a real interview and you'll get all of your feedback at the end, or you can do it in a coach mode. So during the interview, the interviewer, the AI interviewer, will give you coaching and tips based on the response in real time. So you kind of have the option to practice in both ways. Maybe you start with coach mode, you kind of get the hang of it, you start to learn some things about how you're interviewing, and then you try again in mock mode and do that real sort of simulated interview. Lots of different opportunities for you there to practice, but we think this is a really underutilized tool in our tool set, so I would definitely recommend checking it out, even just for the heck of it, even just for the practice. It's kind of fun to see what types of questions are asked. So that is really the basics of Teal. Again, it's a big tool and there's a lot to discover here. I think what's most important is that Teal is really meant to help you speed up the application process. And if you have a great resume foundation, then coming into Teal, you should be able to easily make changes to your resume and get those applications out. But of course, we are, fully here to help. We are a small team. There's about 8 of us total at Teal, and we are completely user feedback centralized. So just know that all of your feedback is read by me directly, and then oftentimes read by our CEO and our engineers. We're very feedback centered. So if there's features that you don't see that you'd like to, or if you're running into issues, we're very people focused. So even though we're an AI tool, just know that there's always people here to help. So I will stop sharing. I'm not sure if there's time for questions, and I don't exactly know what the agenda is, but more than happy to answer questions over email as well. I'll put that in the chat here.